What's going on? What's going on? Long time no speak. Another Jarvis video in a while. So this is gonna be a quick one. By this time, I guess you guys should have already been checking out Jarvis on TradingView. It's been out there making crazy calls, doing a really good job, to be honest with you. So what we have here is the XRP chart, and currently we're still in the buy signal. It was an A key, three samples, 67% win rate. There was participation alignment as well. Um, And if you look at the EMX, which is basically the environmental matrix, um, a 67% win rate was on neutral. So as you can see, this was a buy and a neutral. So it's pretty decent, decent stats here. Um, if we look at the signal itself, uh, there was the buy. It wasn't a key. A1 did not print. So acceptance did not print. What did print was commitment. And actually, commitment printing, especially when it's green, is even stronger than acceptance because there's a logical follow through with acceptance and follow through. Since there was no acceptance printed, commitment came in and handled the job. And not only was it a commitment, it was a commitment with an extension candle, which is an A2 here. That's yellow. So it tells you that this was a committed structure build out, early phase, and it had an extension on it, which is very good. Golden Cross overhead, which is also great, right? So with commitment and the Golden Cross, there's a rung capability that you can add to this confidence score. When you see a confidence score from Jarvis is a -2, even with this stats, Jarvis is saying, well, this structure is a -2 to me, right? But you can do some post processing, post evaluation on this structure on the DNA, this DNA row, by actually runging it, which means RUNG, increasing the value. So it goes from -2 to now that you have a acceptance, you can put as much as 2 points, positive points on that. So that -2 now becomes a zero, which means it literally is flat line, it's neutral now, right? But then you got a golden cross overhead. This is not even a golden cross like like you're entering a golden cross territory environment. Is literally overhead on the high time frame, which has a little bit more sauce, right? So you can definitely use either a 1 or 2 points max for that, which would definitely get this into a more positive feedback. So where could you have entered? You could have entered here if you wanted to, because by this time, A2 print, the DNA row is evaluated. You could take an early entry on the A confirmation. That golden cross overhead would have been printed here already. Okay. And you can look at the stats too. So by this time, when this A candle printed here, there was an A key, three samples, 67% win rate with aligned participation. Okay. And it stated too that the duration to hit TP on this particular structure is two candles. It's two candles. Okay. Um, the bias was there as well, neutral. The entry it called for from Jarvis was limit, but there was that the buy obviously, and then there was this EMX, right? So you're now seeing a neutral, and the EMX is 67%, so it's above 50%. So out of these three samples, majority of the win rate was in a neutral environment, and look what it did. Look what the structure did. You hit TP with this A2 candle, so you could have entered here, literally entered here. The stop was here on this green line. Matter of fact, let me turn off Chadbull for a second so you can see it better. Matter of fact, I'm gonna turn everything off so you can see things a lot better. Right? Because we're gonna just focus on Jarvis for now. We'll turn everything else back on. Right? So this is like a naked. This is naked. Right? This is Jarvis naked. Look how this looks. This is crazy, right? This is Jarvis naked. There's nothing else here but Jarvis. As you can see, for proof, right? This is the only thing enabled on this chart is Jarvis. When you get Jarvis and you put your subscription order in for this indicator, this is if you just had this by itself and nothing else, This is what we consider Jarvis naked. All right. This is just Jarvis, nothing else. Look what it says. It's still a good play. Look, buy signal comes in, A candle prints. Okay, the A candle prints. By the time the A candle prints, the cross row has golden cross overhead, right? Like think of it like this wouldn't have been here. None of this was printing yet. Let's just say none of this stuff was here yet, right? Um, actually, let me. What the heck? Let's replay this real quick to get back to here. Because in reality, you know, I have other indicators on my chart, right? Just to add more confluence, more context. But you know, you can just run Jarvis really and be fine with that. Let's play this through. Buy. Golden cross. There you go. Pause it here. Bingo. Look what's happening. By the time this A candle printed, golden cross was overhead. There was your A key, right? 67% win rate. Uh, there was a 0.78R additional return that you can get on your 1R. And the reason why I'm saying 1R is this is how I got it configured currently. Um, I'm ultra scalping. Just 1R is all I want for my sampling. So enter here, right? You enter here because you know we're gonna simulate this, right? Enter here. You bring your stop to this line that Jarvis puts out for you, and you say you want 1R. Right there. Okay. This would have been playing in 2 minutes. You would have made it if you needed to. Um, but there you have it. By the time the A printed, golden cross was overhead on the cross row. You already knew your key. You had your win rate percentage. You had your EMX, which is your environmental matrix, basically letting you know how does this structure build in certain environments. It set up for neutral was 67% win rate, which is pretty damn good. Okay. Um, and then what else did you see? Now that's at the A. But let's just say you said, nah, the market is crazy. It can be funny. Let me wait a little bit more. Wait, maybe like one or two more candles. By the second candle, now your DNA row prints and also your F row, which is your kind of like your evaluation of the actual structure, right? It started off green, actually, right? It started off green at confirmation. It ended green after post evaluation. The red is just for the sniper. Basically, you know, you can configure it to say, hey, I only want these specific keys. Jarvis, if you see these specific keys with this specific data statistic, then let me know if I can take it. From a sniper row, a sniper evaluation, this structure, Jarvis would have said, no, don't take it. But that's fine. This is your acceptance. As you can see, it's grayed out. So that means that it never, A1 never printed. Acceptance never printed. As you can see, there's no A1 here, right? But look at this one. This is your last sphere, which is your commitment. There's your commitment, A2. It printed. And it not only did it print, it printed with an extension. So it's like, wow. So what do you do? You could have entered two places. Obviously, the best place without the full picture of a structure being built out would have been here, right? Using this guy. All right. Um, or you could have entered here. And then you could still use this, but that would actually give you, it would have to give you more time. Let's see if you still hit 1R from here. Let's see what happens. Let's say we do 1R here. Continue to play it through. Okay, boom. We still hit 1R. Nice. Okay, so either way, you would have hit 1R. Whether down here, utilizing Jarvis's smart stop loss, or you could have entered here once you got this evaluation. And why would you have entered? Obviously, the confidence score from Jarvis said a -2, right? Jarvis just wasn't confident with this structure. Just it is what it is. Even with a golden cross overhead, just wasn't confident. But there's a process that we have in the Jarvis doctrine. It's called runging, RUNG, where you can actually post process the evaluation score and add your basically modify the score. So where it says -2, when you have an acceptance print, especially when acceptance, well not acceptance, when a commitment prints, my bad. When a commitment prints, that's going to give you at least a +1 to +2 points that you can add to this score. So when you do -2 plus 2, what do you get? 0. 0 now makes this structure neutral, right? But you also have a golden cross overhead. Golden cross overhead, there's an actual meter on golden cross, right? There's golden cross, I think detected, it is. Then there's a golden cross approaching with the number of bars. Then you have a golden cross overhead, and then you have X neutrality. When you get to the golden cross overhead, you can literally put 1 to 2 points on there if you like. So that makes this structure now a 2, right? This confidence score is now a +2, right? From a -2 +2 for the commitment to another +2 points for the golden cross overhead, and that's on the high time frame. Now again, this is Jarvis naked. Like this is Jarvis naked, right? Now when you start turning on other indicators like the fractal model, I have my Bollinger Bands, it's the chart starts to come alive now, right? But here's the beauty about all of this. Chadbull as well, the inverted fair value gap, and then my macro, just to show that when I'm in my macro, you see things are starting to pop up on the chart and things are starting to come alive, right? But the statistics is still the statistics. That's why like you can really run Jarvis naked, or you can run Jarvis with other indicators, right? And what Jarvis will do is when those buys and sell indicator structures are coming through and getting built out, there's an analytical portion around it. You get what I mean? So now this chart is alive now. Now you can see inducement order blocks, bullish, bullish breaker blocks. You can see all this stuff, right? The premium, the discount, all of those things are there. But in reality, right? If you want to keep Jarvis naked, you want to keep your chart clean, this is all you really need. That is all. Your Bollinger Bands for your extremities, volatilities, extremities, and Jarvis. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll try to do some more videos as well. Um, Definitely check it out if you haven't already. Thanks for watching.